Down, down, down. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Let's check our audio. Let's check our audio. That sounds good. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the stream. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. There it is. Our T tried to go for make an escape. And we are going to hit some drivers today, guys, which is exciting. You know what we can do? We can give ourselves a little platform here. Well, it's probably not a good idea to hit our driver off of a brick. Actually, smart to reconsider that idea. But we can give ourselves a nice flat spot to hit the driver off of. The problem obviously is the height. Don't want to hit the top of the tent over there. Oh. Welcome to the stream, guys. Who's in here? Tom's here. Squirrel Sniper's here. I mentioned the Temple of Doom today. Synchronicity. There you go. Hello, superstar. Hi. Are you enjoying seeing everything all cleaned up? I know, we got most of the leaves, at least displaced. Greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond but under the same skies. I'm glad you're here, Squirrel Sniper. Trying to get the body at least a little bit ready to move around. Hey! Hey! That's not helping right there. That's not helpful. Oh, you guys gonna be crazy? Are you guys gonna be crazy? Look at you. Look at these zoomies. Oh. Sir, we don't dig holes right there. No. No, we don't. Oh, so what's on the agenda for today, guys? We've been doing a lot of wedge work recently, which has fully just 100% been paying off. Played yesterday and just stuffed the wedge that I had. Oh, Tom says, hi, Miss Lily. Thanks for saying hi. Oh, you eating grass? You're not supposed to eat grass. Are you a cow? You're not a cow. No, we don't eat that grass. What? Does it taste yummy? Does it taste yummy? All right, let's grab like a pitching wedge here and start getting a little bit loosened up. I am gonna hopefully hit some drivers today, guys. Just getting everything set up here. Thanks for bearing with me. Also, I gotta go in and check and see if the other phone is charged enough yet, but I do wanna get the launch monitor out as well and do some iron training. But let's start with some warm-up, some stretching, getting the body ready to move so we can make some good golf swings. Keep working on our impact and ball striking, right? That's what I've been spending so much time on. Really trying to get this really solid impact position so that we can continue hitting the center of the club face as often as possible with consistency. They went the other way. Oh my goodness, is your mom home? Wow. They're crazy. You have a good outing?
Sorry?
You have a good outing?
Mediocre.
Okay. All right, so we got pitching wedge here. Just need to start feeling where we want to get that club to at impact. Tell you what, guys, the colder it gets, the harder it is to warm up and feel like your body's really ready to move and make a golf swing. So it is worth taking the extra, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 minutes to just do some stretching, grab a band, something like this. You know, you can do some good rotational stuff. Yeah. Hey, Unreal Dax is here. What's up, Dax? Thanks for saying hi. I don't know if you guys can hear all that crunching and crackling coming from my spinal region, but that's what that was. Oh, man. Okay. Let's start with some small swings. See if we can get this club on the golf ball. Look at that. Managed to make contact. I also really like these single leg RDLs for warming up. Do need to pay attention to your balance. Okay. Definitely think the mobility and the fitness, once again, is going to be an area of focus for the winter time. Just like it was last winter, guys, we did a ton of really good work trying to correct years and years of issues with my knees and hips, and some of it's from sitting, some of it's from old injuries. Some of that stuff I'm still managing, right? Some of you guys the other night heard me talking about just last week going for an MRI on my knee and trying to get some stuff sorted out so that we can keep playing our best golf. And XF said gay. Well, gay's okay. There's nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. Do 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 do. I couldn't tell you why I have Indiana Jones stuck in my head, but I certainly do. And I don't know if any of you guys also have ADHD, but for me, when something gets stuck in my head, it's pretty much in there. Tom wants to know, are these your golf shoes? Yes, these are the golf shoes that I wear most of the time now. I much prefer a traditional golf shoe. I've got a couple pairs of like the FootJoy Premiers. I used to wear the DNA shoes back in the day. However, especially for walking, I found that these spikeless shoes, these Nike Air Max shoes, are by far the highest rated shoes for walking based on the research that I did. So I got these for that purpose, to try and take some of the pressure off my joints when I'm walking around out there on the course. Starting to feel the body loosen up and warm up a tiny bit, which is nice. Still can feel some of that crunchiness in my knee, so we'll have to take it easy. I'm tired because I had cross country today. Well, that's a good activity to keep your body and your mind sharp. I give you a ton of credit, Tom, because I, for one, have made a promise a long time ago that I will only run if someone's chasing me. I'm just not a runner. I've tried to be. Ran a couple 5Ks with my wife. She used to be a big runner. That's as far as I got. Really trying to keep this posture nice and tight. I think it also just allows me to keep the club in front of me better. Hey, Gunner's here. Tom wants to know, did you ever hit it over the net? No. Not hit it. Well, maybe once we were trying to hit a flop shot and we did hit one over the net. But that's as far as I can remember, just the one time. I have shanked a couple that thankfully got caught by the fence there. But until recently, I was so confident that never had to worry about missing the net. Still just working up the speed as we loosen up here. Usually takes me, I don't know, 15 or 20 swings to feel like we're really loose and know where the swing's gonna feel for the day. It's feeling pretty good as far as I can tell. Ooh, anybody playing golf this weekend? Who's working on their game, trying to get better? That was hit out of the toe. Do 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 do. Do do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Oh, all right, let's maybe grab like an 8-iron, 7-iron maybe. And if there are drills you guys want me to demonstrate or things you guys are working on in your own game that you want to talk through, just drop a comment and Tom and Liam are both doing cross country. Amazing. 4-mile run. Very cool. Have you tried to hit driver in your setup? Yes, I have. We're actually, part of the reason I was setting it up this way today, guys, was so that we could hit some drivers. As soon as we are finished loosening up, I'm like, why is this club in here? And then I realized yesterday, guys, we went and filmed a 3-iron only challenge. So I hit every shot for 9 holes with just this 3-iron. As you can see, it's an old Blade 3-iron, like a true butter knife. Very difficult to hit, and so we hit all our putts and chips, tee shots with that club. But I'm just going to keep grabbing an 8-iron here. I know this is random, but dry pasta is a really good snack. Interesting. Amazing, Sensum. Thank you so much for your support, my dude. Congrats on 6 million views. Always great to have a tune in your mind while practicing. One of my favorites is Michael Kamen's theme to Band of Brothers. I unironically dream in music. Well, I'm very grateful for your support, Sensum. Thank you so much for the kind donation. Band of Brothers is not only an incredible show, but one of the best scored TV shows that I can ever think of. Awesome soundtrack. And that theme is a good one. That's a good one for the golf course. I remember hearing that humming or, singing to yourself can be a really good way to keep your mind present and activated without, wandering too much. You love your noises. Everybody drop a like for Sensum's donation. That's incredibly cool. Thank you so much. I wish there was a way to set like a goal. What's the net called? Great question, Shay. This is the Net Return Pro. And if you want to learn more about net return, you can go to the description of the live stream, click that link where it says net return. And you can also get 10% off if you're interested, if you're really serious about getting one and improving your golf. We've had some of our subscribers take advantage of that. You can also learn about the RAPSODO launch monitor that I use. We've used that in a bunch of videos. If you're interested in learning about that, it's in the description. Amazing, Tom. Buglemint said, I'm trying to work on not coming from the inside so much on the downswing. AKA a 7-wood, that's funny. Oh, you guys got it. Yeah, net return. Here we go. Perfect. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the help. I got to find a way to make this a little closer, I think. Whoops. The net works great. Yeah, I've hit a ton of golf balls into this net, guys. If you have been following the channel for a while, you've seen us do lots of live streams out here, and having this tool and this setup has been huge. That just feels so much better when I really focus on that posture, not getting so this way and just letting my, chest stay proud. Really lets my arms and rotation happen a lot easier. So this is just 8-iron, guys. Still trying to get loose. Because we are going to do some driver work today, which I'm excited about. It's been a while since I've felt up to practicing the driver, at least physically. And it shows on the golf course, right? My driving has been inconsistent at best. Did hit a couple good ones yesterday when we got the driver out. Things you love to see. Just a good, clean, solid strike with a short iron. As you can see, guys, we've been doing a lot of practice recently. The face was already worn, but we're really starting to tire her out. Hey, Fat Boy Golf is here. What's up, Fat Boy? Frey says, last year I practiced more than ever. I went up 2 shots to 4. This year I'm going to try and not practice and see what happens. Well, Frey, it's a great reminder that golf is funny that way. And there's not always a direct linear correlation between practicing more and shooting better scores. I had that same frustration for most of this season. I spent a lot more time practicing and my scores were the same or even a little bit worse. And I personally am going to chalk that up to, needing to get out on the golf course more and really implement the things I've been practicing. It's one thing to do it in practice, but you got to be able to do it for 18 full holes out on the course. And that's why starting next year, I'm hoping to be able to, you know, truly play 3 or 4 times a week, see what kind of golf we might be able to play. You know, a lot of that is predicated on physically feeling able to play that much golf. Oh, that's what happened there. That makes sense. I was like, how is that so low? Well, you've got to keep the tent all in one piece, guys. All right, let's grab the driver. Hit some of those. Have you heard of Cobra drivers? No, yeah, Cobras are great. Frank said hi. Hello, Frank. Hey, John, do you have any tips on wedges? So my tips for wedges is never try to hit them very hard, right? Just because I know that I can hit my sand wedge, my 56 degree, I don't know, 115 yards. I never on the golf course try to hit it more than like 105, right? I hit a lot of low, chippy wedges, right? Even if I have 110 yards and I know I could hit a sand wedge there, unless for some reason I really need to hit it up in the air, you know, I'm almost always going to be taking an extra club, making a 80, 85, 90% swing, and trying to control the trajectory and the flight and the distance that way. Okay, so no issues there as far as I can tell. And the problem really, guys, is if when I stand here, right, the top of the tent where I need the most height is really kind of in front of me, so I got to be a little more over here, but hopefully you guys can still see me hitting. Okay. I also thought, you guys tell me what you think, because I get so many comments about, you know, is this Tommy Fleetwood? You look just like Tommy Fleetwood. He's obviously a much better golfer than me. But I do think it would be fun. What if we did like a little series and I just said, you know, day 1 of posting my swing until my doppelganger Tommy Fleetwood comments. Right? I think he just started a YouTube channel and is going to be making content and stuff. So I thought that could be a fun idea to try to engage with the man himself, who everybody seems to think I look like and swing it a little bit like. Obviously not to the same caliber, but I do have that short backswing, abbreviated follow through type of look to my swing. Hello, Miss Lady. Hey, you. You gotta stay out of the danger zone, you know. Ah. Am I a member anywhere? Not at the moment, Tom. Zoe, any tips for driver? So my tips for driver is learn how to hit the center of the face as consistently as you can and swing it at a speed where you know where the ball is going to go, right? I see so many people get up and they swing 100%, and, you know, some of the time they hit it really far and straight and it looks great, but half the time they're hitting it, you know, miles and miles off the planet, right? Totally out of play, out of bounds, into water hazards, right? Even if you have to slow down to 80%, you got to be able to find a speed where you can keep the ball in play, right? You know, you can 3-putt all you want, but your scores are going to blow up by hitting the ball out of play, into water hazards, out of bounds. Hi. What are you doing? You're in the danger zone. Another tip with driver, don't be afraid to slow it down, right? I like making some little chippy swings and just practicing getting the center of this club on that golf ball. Baby girl, you got to find a different spot to hang out. You do. No, that's more in the danger zone. Go on, go find your mama. Where's your mama? Right, so you can, with driver, slow down and really just make some little swings like that, right? And just making sure that you're hitting the center of the face So that's a good tip for driver. QI10 Max, exactly right, Gunner. Rudling said hi. Tom's here. Hey, Higashoka. New vids are some heaters. Keep it up. Thanks so much for your support, my dude. We have been really working hard at it. I've been posting, gosh, I don't know, between like 5 and 10 videos a day. Really trying to push the pedal down on this thing. See if we can keep building our platform, guys. Because I'll tell you, I don't want to get a job. I don't want to have to go back to work and stop streaming and be able to make far fewer videos. But of course, you know, that's what life looks like sometimes. And I think the runway for trying to get this thing off the ground is rapidly running out. So we've made a ton of progress. You know, when I first started this, guys, there was no thought of like, this could be your job or pay your bills this way. It was always just, you know, hey, I'm interested in doing this. I want to learn how to make videos and make content. But given how satisfying it is for me and the response that you guys have, and, you know, some of the feedback that we get about people saying, you know, talking about this stuff makes a difference. It's, you know, it's a great community that we're building here. So in the last couple of months, I really have started to think about, is there a path to, you know, doing golf and content stuff as a career? And it seems like there is, right? But, so that's really why I've been doubling down on, you know, really trying to make more stuff. So this is a really good way to test your swing and see if you can consistently hit the ball in the center of the face with a small swing. Right, that's the skill that we're working on building. And doing it at slower speed is going to make things much, much easier, guys. You've heard me say it before. I'm going to keep saying it. If you want to improve your technique, I'm not talking about execution, right? I'm not talking about, you know, hitting a club to a certain target with a certain distance. I'm talking about the skill of hitting the ball in the center of the club face. If you want to build that skill, whether it's with a 9-iron or a driver, it can't hurt to just really slow down and build the skill. It's no different than another, you know, high performance articulation type of activity, right? If you're learning how to play guitar, you would go really slow. You go, okay, my fingers go like this, and this is what it feels like. You wouldn't try to play a song at full speed while you're learning how to do it, right? You go really slow and practice and practice and practice. It's the same in golf, guys. Who else is in here? Thanks for saying hi, guys. Hey, Logan's here. Bro, is this pre-recorded? Oh, I'm not ignoring anybody, guys. Sorry, we just, in order to hit driver, usually I set up my laptop here so I can see the stream and I can just continue, you know, talk and engage without having to look away or stop what I'm doing, but I need this space here to be able to hit driver. I wonder, maybe there's a slightly better option. If you restart your phone, then put in the microwave for 15 seconds, it'll work. Incredible. I also don't want to smash. This seems risky. I'm not sure that's a good idea. 120 straighty. Yeah, again, guys, when you're working on your skills, you don't need to do it at full speed. But it does hopefully translate so that when you do, swing fast at it, you still hit the center of the club, which it felt like we did on that one. And I'll say that was the first kind of real full speed swing I've tried. Felt pretty good. I'm going to work on some Bryson drills. If you guys don't know the Bryson drill, it's where he takes it to the top and then intentionally drops his hands and then swings from here. So let's do 5 reps of that. Really focusing on letting that club fall. To hit it more from the inside. My tendency with the driver is to get a little bit too steep this way in transition, as opposed to letting that club just fall and work down the plane. Do 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 do. Do do do. I also got to find, maybe somebody in the chat knows, what are those tees? The ones that don't go flying, where it just stays there, there's a little string on it or something. I've seen people use those. Granto said hi. You made the correct choice. That was not a good idea. Well said. I couldn't really ever hit my driver, so what I did was shorten it by 2 inches, re-gripped it with a big jumbo grip, and now I can nail them. Hey, Paul's here. Joshua's here. Hello, guys. Welcome to the stream. Doing some driver work. It's a great point, Greg. This driver that I play is slightly shorter than standard as well, and I have jumbo grips on all of my clubs. So we are on the same page. All through the bag, driver, all the way down to pitching wedge. I hit the ball so much straighter now, guys, that I have these bigger grips on there. I also added some extra tape so that there's less taper, right? The right hand, or the bottom hand on my grips, it doesn't really narrow down that much until, you know, past where you're normally gripping it, which I like as well. It really just, you know, fills up that space. Okay. And again, guys, the idea here is to learn how to shallow that club and just let gravity work. Especially, you know, like me, my tendency is, even though my backswing is very on plane, right, my tendency is to slightly just go this way, right, and let my chest start spinning out this way, as opposed to that club working more this way in transition. That was hit pretty good. Do 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 do. Right in the center of the face. That's great. Love to see it, guys. Hope everybody's having a great day. Really appreciate y'all being here, hanging out. Jamin's here. Movember is absolutely right, guys. I guess, you know, I made some posts about it, but we haven't addressed it fully. Yeah, November is, there's 2 different, you know, versions, right? But Movember or No Shave November. But either way, the idea is to raise awareness for men's health, specifically mental health, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. So these are, you know, things that are not talked about regularly or openly. These are things that happen, you know, or afflict millions of men out there. So if wearing a silly mustache for a month is going to help raise some awareness for that, then I'm more than happy to do it. Right? Whatever uncomfortable feeling I have by being like, oh, I'd rather have my beard back and not be rocking this mustache. Well, that discomfort is nothing compared to the struggle that people are going through with cancer and mental health stuff. So I'll happily be mildly uncomfortable for a few days. Do you use regular length irons? Good question, Aiden. I do. I broke my left hand and had my ring finger. Oh. Well, that sounds uncomfortable, Greg. I'm glad that you're back playing golf. That sounds like a difficult injury to battle back from. Jamin says, always show up in time for Indiana Jones. Incredible. Tapes are also a great idea because even though I have jumbo grips, at the top end of my club, tape's heavier. Oh, that works well. Awesome. Paul gave us a thumbs up. Incredible. Oh, a swab. If you want to see a what's in the bag, we did that not too long ago. There's a couple different versions posted on the channel. So go check those out. Gotta stay hydrated here, guys. Hey, Pro 21 is here. I'm doing great. Go be a car guy. Well, if I liked cars, then I would be, but I don't. Paul, I've not intentionally tried making any changes like that. But certainly with the driver, I hear your point that like a little bit more turn, without my hands getting quite so disconnected is probably a good idea. Pro is here. Grow a goatee, they look better. You need to do a video and say if you watch the streams, and it can be you humming. That's funny. This sport no need brains. Well, Lyle, if you manage to use your brain to form a complete sentence, then we can have a conversation. Sorry, that was a little more rude than I intended it to be. But if you're going to talk smack, at least do it coherently. Oh, that was right on the heel, unfortunately. That was better, guys. Let's go. It is boring to try and become better at something, right? It's just a lot of repetitions, working through slow motion type stuff, trying to get 1% better every day. It can be boring, but that's the price of admission if you want to get better at something and improve your skills. What's the best putting mat? Good question. This sport at best teaches you party tricks. That's all it's useful for. Well, Lyle, I couldn't disagree with you more, and that's okay. I'm not here to convince you, but golf is a wonderful parallel in a lot of ways to life, and a great way to spend time outside with people you know and care about. Great way to get some exercise. Go walk 6 or 7 miles. That felt pretty good. Oop. All right, now let's turn the speed up a little bit, and we're going to do some freezers, where we really just let that club pause for a second. And it's just going to stay up there briefly. Do 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 do. I disagree. Golf is a great sport. Well said, Garrett. What driver do you use? This is a QI10 Max from TaylorMade with an Oban Kiyoshi 05 shaft in it. So you'll notice, guys, I'm trying to get this path a little bit more out to the right, and you really need to exaggerate these feels sometimes to make even just the smallest incremental change in your swing. All right, freezer drill. Pause at the top. Pretty good. Working on getting a little more turn, a little more shoulder turn in the backswing, which is never a bad thing. If you think that, go do something else. Well said. My buddy in the tour tournament home club, wow, 68, 66, 65 for 8th place. Yeah, see, guys, there's levels to this. That's why I would never describe myself as anything more than a decent golfer. You know, I'm a 1.3 index at the moment, but once you know just the calibers of golf that exist out there, you know that that's not really that good. Hating the time change, can't get in 9 anymore after work. I totally agree, Garrett. It also, I feel like for me, it really messes up my internal clock and that was pretty good. Let's see how that swing looks. What are your thoughts on Mo Norman's driver setup? I don't know about Mo Norman's driver setup, but tell me more. I would love to learn. Pause, stroke, and set the club, which can be key to solid strikes. It's still a little long. Look at that backswing. It still just gets a little bit too long for my liking, I think. I don't know what's up with that. You're a great golfer. Those dudes are just insane. Jamin, tell me more about Mo Norman. He's obviously an incredible ball striker and a fascinating character in the game of golf. That was dead out of the heel. That felt very over the top. I think you're a little hard on yourself. You're in the top like 2% of all golfers. Be proud of that. Yeah, you guys are right. But why is this swing so over the top? Pro's been playing for 2 months and loves it. Yeah, see, guys, there's always, for every one hater, there's like 10 of you guys who are like, no, I'm having a great time here. Just got to keep those shoulders closed a little bit longer. Okay. I'm going to take some of my own advice, guys, and just slow things down. See if we can't try to find the center of the club face. There we go. When that transition for me gets too quick, I start going this way, right, instead of letting that club. Good to find the center of the face, even if we have to slow down to like 50 or 60%. can't be the best at everything, but you're the best YouTuber in my opinion. Well, I'll definitely take that compliment, Tom. I really appreciate you saying that. Still just trying to learn and get a little bit better day by day. Same way we do with our golf, right? I'm trying to learn how to make better videos and be more entertaining and do these live streams. Looks like a nice day. Yeah, it is a little cold. Chris says, ignore the haters. Thanks for your service as well, Chris. Basically, the simplicity of the swing plane, 3 feet behind the ball and 3 feet past. Yep. Sorry, I'm working and watching. Don't worry, Jamin. It's a habit, picking it up on the backswing. Totally. What's your favorite club? My favorite club is usually this one, the driver. It's the one that I typically feel like is the, the biggest weapon in my bag. Dreadful strike. I do sometimes wonder if I maybe set up too far away from it. It does occasionally feel like I'm having to reach for the ball a little bit. That's another decent drill. Keep that ball under the right foot. Keep it from popping up. All right, so those are moving closer to the center, which is great. But I'll tell you guys, it's just a good example of you let things slide, and I hadn't practiced the driver for a couple weeks. You expect it's all going to stay where it's at, and it just doesn't work that way. All right, let's do some caddy drag drills for Paul, which is a really great drill, guys, where you just start the swing, keeping the wrists nice and rubbery. Really just let it kind of really creates a nice flow to the swing. Helps us from picking it up quite so much. It was hit out of the heel, but the swing felt okay. Let's see if we can really get a good sense for where on the face we're hitting it. That one was dead nuts in the center, guys. Hopefully you can, hopefully it'll show up on the screen there. Yeah, see? Once in a while, we find the center of the face. Oops. Oh, gotta stay hydrated here. Hey, Rooks is here. Can you hit a loft shop on the top pole? We're hitting driver right now. Garrett says, I wish I had space for an inside simulator for winter time. Me too, Garrett. Me too, dude. I think I'm gonna be out here trying to stay warm. We're gonna have to hook up some lights and a heater or something. I'm gonna start reaching out to some simulator places to see if they would want to partner up with me and, do some advertising. That was the best swing I've made in a while. Just got to let that transition really be softer. Almost like I'm loosening my grip on the club so that when it starts to fall, we can really fire it from down here. Not from up here, but more from halfway down. Okay, might be onto something. Only took 20 swings. Look at that, they're all in the center now. Really making some progress. I'd be worried about the ball hitting the back wall and bouncing back. Is there enough distance between the net and the back? So this is a Net Return Pro, guys. We have never once had any issues hitting that back wall. Even when some of you might remember, over the summer, we were in a different space. We had a wall right behind the net and never once had an issue. We were smashing drivers, all kinds of high ball speeds, and I promise, if it's good enough for Kyle Berkshire, it's good enough for me. Because his club head speed is probably faster than my ball speed almost. Maybe not quite, but close. Is that a beer? No, Hunter, this is a Polar Seltzer. I have been alcohol-free for almost 5 years now, guys. I have not had a drop of alcohol since 2021. And that is all for the best. I have no intentions of ever drinking again. It's not easy, right? I was a heavy drinker. It was a big part of my social life. But it is better. It was worth it, right? You guys have heard me say that in videos before. I'm not here to tell you it's easy, but I am here to show you it's possible. Whoa! See, guys, this is the other challenging part about being outside this time of year, is that wind is unrelenting. Can you look at my comment? Oh, sorry guys, I'm not doing a good job keeping up with the stream chat because it's behind me here. Steve, you hit 150 shots last night. Good for you, dude. Putting in the work. Means that you're the 3rd best subscriber. Amazing, bro. Hey, Rooks. Where is it? I personally feel the heel strike is due to the 2x4 in your swing path. That could be part of it. Alcohol-free, I'm sure. Feel the weight of the club head. I was wondering how the follow-through should look with the driver, like where it should end at. So that follow-through is going to be very personal, right? But generally speaking, you know, you'd want to see the club sort of exiting out of this front shoulder. If you're rotating and turning, you don't want to see it like kind of way up here or really kind of low and around, right? Somewhere that's sort of on the same plane as the backswing. But don't forget that the ball's gone by then, so you know, when people talk about like, oh, I follow through with my hands high or low to hit different shots, that is a great feel, but let's acknowledge that all of the things are happening before impact, right? The adjustments that you're making. Try to feel the weight of the club head. That's a good idea. That was maybe the best one I've hit. That was a nutty boy. Long boy. Yeah, see, dead nuts in the center of the club. Steve's in Worcester, Mass. Represent. Amazing. Congrats on 5 years. Thanks so much. We're not there yet. It'll be not till March, so a few more months. But yeah, in between 4.5 and 5 years. What grip do you use? I use this overlap grip where my pinky is just sort of sitting on top there. But I did interlock for a really long time. Gosh, that feels terrible now. I'm glad I switched to overlap. Kyle Berkshire doesn't hit shots as bad as I do. Funny. I'm getting to play tomorrow at 12. Fine, I got a day off. Amazing, Garrett. Could play well out there. You can. I'm excited to hear from you back on the stream about how it goes. All right, we might have figured something out now. This is exciting. It's all about just really letting that club fall and pause and transition. Let's take a look, see how we did. It's not nearly as steep, which is exciting. Tighten your fingertips. Hey, Tyneside is here. Logan subbed, amazing. If you guys want a quick shout out, drop a sub if you're new. Let me know. We'll get you the easiest shout out ever. Thank you again to our good friend Sensum for his extremely generous donation on the stream. I do have another meeting coming up here in just a few minutes, guys, so I am going to have to wrap it up in about 10 or 15 minutes. That was hit very hard. For me, let's be clear. None of the golf balls that I'm hitting are hit very hard. The highest ball speed I've seen this year, guys, is 172, so still below tour average. Some of it honestly might just be getting loose and warm, and now my body's like ready to move just in time to have to call it a day. Although, to my earlier point, guys, about really trying to grind and put in more time and try to see if we can build this platform up. Plan on seeing another live stream later today. We're going to be inside doing some putting later. The setup is so sus. What don't you like about it? Mediocre's here. What's up, Mediocre Golf? Braxton just got done doing some range work. Logan for the win. Love it. Who's your favorite YouTuber? I think Bryson at the moment. Really been enjoying his content. That video with Steph Curry was super, super fun. That guy can play some golf, huh? Talking about Steph Curry. Gosh, it feels like I'm pausing for so long at the top. Golf bro, gotta get to that meeting. Yeah, that's right, John. But guys, if we keep putting in this effort and showing up consistently and building this community, then, you know, before too long, that might be a year, 2 years, 10 years, then there won't be any more meetings, right? We can just golf and make content, talk about things that I feel are important to talk about. That's really the dream. And that's why, you know, I'm staying up for an extra 3 hours at the end of the day and editing videos and trying to learn about how to do this. Let's see how that swing looked. I like the break 50, totally. Jamin's gonna try to sneak in 9, incredible. I always stay up late just to watch your stream. Thanks so much. Where are you staying up late from? Let's take a look at this last swing here, guys. So much better in transition. Getting there now. I have an important topic, best flavor of Pop-Tarts. That is an important question. I always liked the traditional, like, strawberry frosted. But cinnamon, the cinnamon sugar one, or brown sugar cinnamon, whatever that flavor was, that was always a good one too. S'mores, interesting choice, Rooks. I respect it. I have to feel like the transition takes about 4 times longer than it usually does because I have the quickest transition ever. Yes, guys. Look at that. That is precisely where we want to be hitting the golf ball. Look at this. Progress. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens moment by moment, brick by brick. And we're doing it together, right, guys? We're building this platform, this community. You guys are hopefully learning some stuff, and you know, people are, it's super cool to me when you hear, you know, like Jamin was here the other night, he's like, where's Paul? I want to chat with Paul. Like, that to me, I was like, this is awesome. We're actually building a space where people, you know, come and they spend time regularly, they hang out, they get to know each other, you know, and it's all in the context of golf and growth, self-improvement. Let's see if we can make the transition take just the longest amount of time possible. Whoa. That might be the feeling, guys. That was crazy how different that felt. I'm a simple chocolate man. Pro is calling in from Czech Republic. That's extremely cool. You might be the first person from the Czech Republic that I can remember seeing on the stream. Got any tips for Raquel? Yeah, learn impact. Practice hitting the golf ball in the center of the club face at really slow speed. Look at that swing, guys. That's the best swing with a driver I've made in some time. Eye by eye. There you go. The only problem with this type of setup is you're not actually seeing where the ball is going, so you honestly don't know if you hit it good or not. Well, Evan, that is a fair point as far as trajectory goes. However, given the, I don't know, tens or hundreds of thousands of golf balls that I've hit in my life to this point, I have a very good sense of where on the club face I'm striking the ball, whether it's on the heel or the toe or in the center. And that is 90% of what we're trying to accomplish in here. But you're absolutely correct that one of the drawbacks of a setup like this is not being able to see the flight of the ball. There are so many pros that to me far outweigh that con. And the good news, guys, is not one or the other. I can still just drive to the driving range if I want to see, you know, where the ball is flying through the air. But I can get a lot more work done in total by having access to this space 24/7, right? You know, like today, I have an hour in between meetings. I come out, turn the stream on, start hitting balls. I couldn't have done that if I had to drive 15 minutes to the driving range to then hit and then come, like, you know, there's just, it's a different sort of setup. All right, slow in transition. We're really on to something here, folks. We are really on to something. This is very exciting. I'm from Czech, Alabama. I have trouble compressing my irons and also hitting my driver. So work on impact with those irons, right? Make sure you're hitting the ball first and then the turf. Keep that shaft leaning forward, right? You want to make sure that you're hitting down on the ball, hitting it into the ground, you know, or hitting the ball first and then the turf, right? All right, guys, one more good swing here. Boy, I am excited. This feels like a bit of a breakthrough, if I'm being honest, as far as the driver. Just, you know, for me to feel like what that slower transition actually feels like, and just looking and seeing how quick it had gotten. But by working on this feel, and look at that, so much better. J-Bones, looks like a big slice coming over the top. Well, the good news is we'll never know because it's just a net. Is my plane slightly steep sometimes? Yeah. But I don't hit a lot of slices. Hey, Tyneside, thanks for being here, my dude. One of our great moderators. And guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me. It really does help us out. Like I was saying earlier, we are working hard to turn this into something that can sustain itself and be able to, play and practice and make content even more than we're already doing. So I'm going to keep working hard. I hope you guys will join me and follow along and hopefully, get some motivation for the things you're working on in your life. Whether that's golf, whether that's, other things that I talk about, mental health and sobriety or weight loss, some of these journeys that I've gone on myself. Because if I can do it, I know you guys can do it too. It's just that simple. There's nothing special about me other than I just started. I just started taking steps to say I'm going to change my life. And, if I can help you guys do the same for yourselves, then it's all worth it, right? So I'm incredibly grateful for your support. Drop a like if you haven't already. And we will see you guys next time.